Hey everyone, the good captain here. Welcome to review of round 18 and then round 19. I'm going to go much faster through these now because I'm kind of getting exhausted by all this. But I can kind of sympathize. There's the total unit value of this game is just insanely high. So until we can get it below 1,000 on each side, we probably should continue to resolve it. So, sorry, yeah, the French buy 10 infantry. They move, as you can see, they move everything into the Burgundy, and actually did not want to attack. He says he accidentally attacked, but okay, that's fine. And then he places the 10 infantry in Paris. Looks like, I don't know, I guess he left 1 infantry in Marseille. This was pretty smart. Actually, I just realized this is I will say this is an indication of an intelligent opponent because of what he's about to do. Contested zones don't have ownership, right? And the only people allowed into a contested zone from another contested zone are those that have a piece with skin in the game. In other words, well, here, this will make more sense. Once we get to the Americans, when we get to the Americans' turn, he's going to sea lift in a large army into Marseille, and there will be 1 Frenchman. Now, those Americans will take all the hits if I decide to attack. Leaving the Frenchman there means that everyone in Burgundy can hit Marseille. So I cannot attack Piedmont because he left a blue infantry in Marseille, and there's a large blue army to the north. Of course, there's second and third order effects, but I've already made my decisions. We're just going through the motions. Now, the British, 13 infantry. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Bunch of nonsense that ends up with him putting, attacking into Ukraine for some reason, and Picardy, peace trade in Picardy, battle in Ukraine goes my way. The British roll, what? Like -1, I think, and the Germans rolled plus 1.5. So yeah, okay, nice. But he can shrug 1 hit because he has an armor. Okay, fine. Basically another peace swap. We're not making gains with any of that. Nobody is. So combat move for the Ottomans. Blah blah blah. And then we get to the Italians. Purchase 2, drops them in Rome, what have you, and then the Americans. Okay, now you're going to watch this massive sea lift into Marseille. Does all this fancy pants work here. And then there it is, right? So 7 into Marseille. Then he starts to pull units out of Smyrna, which is just where they should never have been there. And now he pulls them back to drop them off. More in Marseille, right? So this is that mid-late game ability of this strategy, the ability to instantly move units all over the place in the med like this. It's pretty bizarre. Never seen anything like this. But again, this game was started very early on in my gaming career for 1914, and I don't know how many AAA games he's played of this, but I've played a lot since then, so I'm sure I made some sloppy errors in the beginning that would create the conditions for this whole thing to exist. So we're done with all of that. The Ottomans' turn, we're going to build an armor and all infantry. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to dogpile Ukraine. Throw everything in the kitchen sink at him. These 3 artilleries are for the growing Ukrainian front. I guess there should come a time when we dog this Albania thing. I just like the peace treaty we have there because that U.S. Navy, until Marseille or Rome fall and we flip the mine, I don't want to touch Albania. So yeah, this area of the board is very critical. Rome, it's just that sea lift. It's just that crazy sea lift that's gonna make me have to do what I'm about to do right now. This. Okay, so that from Piedmont, we actually, I could draw a red arrow, a big red arrow. One projects into Marseille, one projects into Tuscany. He's very weak in Marseille. He's going to want to transfer units out of Rome. There's no one else to do the job but these transports south of Marseille, so we'd have to flip a ton of, to stack Marseille, you'd have to put quite a bit there. The Germans are going to grind down the French. The Austrians are going to grind down the Americans or whomever on the next turn, but at least from this position we have three choices: Burgundy, Marseille, Tuscany if he comes out and gives us a good tub swing. So that is the logic behind this move. God, look at the transports. Yes, 17. God, my God. Okay. Reminds me of Gladiator. People should know when they're conquered. Okay. And then we're gonna feed Trieste like that. Just put all the power into the Western Front. This is where we can end the game. Over here, we can develop the Far East and probably take Sevastopol at this point. You know, this weak UK thing is starting to show. You know, he's still not breaking 40. He's getting weaker and weaker. The Ottomans are almost strong enough to attack him. It's really bizarre. So I think I decided to pull a pair out because the tub is so in our favor. So yeah. C3 for 5. He built a plane. So 1, 2, 4. Yeah, we'll just hold up position with these two fighters, hold position with these assets where they are. Romania is basically a dead zone. Come on in. And yeah, we're building up in the east. Okay. Cycle through. There's just stuff everywhere now. Just everywhere. Right. Just trying to account for every possibility here. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is 100%. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. Let me do a quick calculation. No, this is not very good. It's 80%, so I might commit the remainder of my Air Force just to try to boost it a bit. Let's see. What does one more fighter get me? I want that close to 90. Let's pull one out of the... Yeah, let's do that. Oops. This will give me 4. Nah, we don't want to play dice like that. Let's put those two back. Play like that. All right, we'll just take it at 84 or whatever it was. Never mind. We can push it like that. So 3, 4, 5. This area is covered by this fellow. Yes. So air supremacy. And we get that boosted a little bit higher. So 3, 4, 3, 4. More on the way if we need them. Okay. Freak them out maybe a little bit. Maybe we can push into Sevastopol. Alright, done out. Got them all. He hits 4 back, which is basically what we expected him to hit. This is actually not German now, because it went from contested. And the people who won it were the Austrians. And the original owner is the Entente. It will be Austrian from now on. So the non-combat move is over. Done. Yes. Place. Okay. After careful review, unfortunately, we just need to spam more infantry as the Germans. So we build all infantry and save 2. Kind of do this little dance over here. Navy's gonna stand pat. We reinforce an attack again in Burgundy. We'll just have to ignore this 11 infantry in Picardy. There's really nothing to do. Do some little fancy footwork back here. No transport shuck this time. It's just a hard drive straight through. Something like +7 pieces in our favor, so pretty thin, honestly, given the piece count here. Shoot, forgot to do one thing. Okay, wanted to do some devilish stuff with the German Navy, but it's going to have to be a couple more turns. We need to just reduce the TUV on the battlefield. We have an advantage, not a huge one, but it is an advantage, and we cannot wait. They're just going to get reinforced, what, 10, like 30 a turn or some fool number like that. So, yeah, we've got to hit them and hit them hard. So we're looking for, I think the number is 48. When I click done, and then we're going to have to pause and wait to get his freaking casualty selection because there's 2 armor in there, and I don't know if he wants to risk a counterattack and whatnot. So for you, it will be instantaneous. For me, it might be a week or days. I don't know. That was a terrific underroll. That's like -10 or 15, just to pause. Okay, it's bad. It is bad. We were supposed to get 43, and we got 34, so we rolled -9. That is, if he rolls par, that is basically peace swap. So, about as bad as it could be. At least it's God, I just want to roll back, but no, I can't do it. So, little pause for you, days for me. Okay, the Battle of Burgundy here concluded on Germany's turn 19. My opponent decided to sacrifice his armor in order to protect some infantries. I'm glad he did, because that was the only bright spot in this whole mess. The French rolled back +3, bringing the total differential to a 12-point swing in the Entente's favor. This is not, given the piece count, I wouldn't qualify this as a disaster. I think it could have been slightly worse, but he definitely rolled, in my opinion, like probably in the 15th to 20th percentile of, you know, amazing results in terms of how positive it could have been for the Entente. So it could have been worse, but only slightly worse. Of course, I'm able to shrug off 5 hits with my armor, but I lost 38 infantry. He lost the equivalent of 36. This was supposed to be a 21 or to 25 point TUV swing in my favor. It ends up being a -6 against the CP. A very low odds probability event, but one that I would say is just barely on the spectrum of possibility. This could have happened. Do I think it's going to affect the game? Not the outcome. I do, however, think that this is going to make this video series on this game far less interesting. So here's what I've decided to do. Making an executive decision as somebody who's basically started a secondary channel supporting my primary channel. I'm trying to keep this educational and entertaining, and given this opponent's inability to, I think it's just a lack of desire to do more than a turn a week, I'm going to call it here. What I will do instead is give updates on this game and probably do a recap when it does conclude. I do believe this is still a CP win. I think it will take another 10 turns to do it. I hate to say that. I know this is, what, round 19? This is usually when CP wins come to a close. The end, you know, up into the high teens. Maybe, you know, by the 20th or 21st turn. That is something typical, but what's atypical is to have the board TUV this high. So I think that's why this guy hasn't tapped out. Where's the TUV? Here it is. The allies are at just shy 1,300. The CP is at 1,371. Of course, this is the best look for me because I just had my 2 most powerful players go. But and you also have to subtract out all the. If you subtract out the naval assets and you just look at a land TUV, it's still fairly significantly in favor of the CP despite this bad battle we just had. So I expect it to take another 5 to 10 turns, given this player's undesire or inability to see the writing on the wall. And there is some curious things being done with the American transports. So, you know, he could pull it out. I just don't see how. I don't see where his momentum is. He's not taking Constantinople. He's not, you know, turning the tide on the Western Front. I've given him what might look like an opportunity in Rome, but if he comes forward in force, I'm just going to go where I can change the land total unit value of land units, and I'm just going to smash that army. I've already calculated that out. He's got to pick a place to fail, and so I just think it'll take a while, given his stubbornness and the high TUV value. So yeah, I'm going to start a new game with another opponent. Just it'll just be whoever starts next, because I want to kind of get videos out more rapidly. Not that I'm dedicated to anything like that, but you know, video every other day or every third day. Doing one a week is at best half speed. So, you know, if you've stuck with us this far, or with me this far, you know, awesome. I intend to make this better than it is, more entertaining than it is, more educational than it is. And this is my second or third game I started, and I've learned a hell of a lot more as the Entente and as the CP, and I hope to showcase that in the next video. So again, this will be updated. I will update those interested on the conclusion of this game when we get to it, or maybe every third turn I'll give everyone an update. But the focus will now be on the next game. Thanks for watching this. All the best. Bye-bye.